Well, good morning, fight fans. If you're up early at work like I am, you just finished watching the monster Naoya Inoue dominate Paul Butler in 11 rounds. Like a lot of you, I had Inoue winning this fight. Now, if you had Paul Butler winning this fight, I would love to hear about it. I would love you to tell me in the comments that you picked Paul Butler, and you can tell me why you picked him. I had Inoue by knockout. I had him between rounds 7 to 9, but he ended up doing it in 11. Let's start with our pros and the cons. Let's start with the monster. The pros would be he was throwing good combinations. He was throwing hard shots. He was going upstairs, downstairs. He was changing his punches. He was throwing his punches at different angles. And he was in destroy mode from the moment that the opening bell rang. As for the cons, nothing. I didn't see anything that Inoue did in this fight that I would consider a con. As for Paul Butler, the pros would be, well, he signed the contract to fight the monster, and he stood in there for 11 rounds. That's all the pros. Let's go to the cons. Paul Butler had no offense. It was very clear to me that he had no game plan at all to beat Naoya Inoue. No game plan. His game plan was to survive 12 rounds, and that would be a victory for him. It reminds me of the early days of Mike Tyson when guys would go the distance with him, and those guys literally would take that as a victory. The fact that they stayed in there with Iron Mike for 12 rounds. Hey, I didn't get knocked out. That's a victory. That's what Paul Butler had going on. It was very evident to me because all he did was kept his guard up and stood in front of Inoue. He was a punching bag. He gave no resistance. The only thing he even tried to do was he tried to do a little check left hook, which wasn't working because Inoue was countering it. And then he even went more into his shell. As far as the fight goes, to be honest with you, if you didn't see the fight, that's how it went for 11 rounds. Paul Butler standing in front of Inoue, being a punching bag, giving very little resistance, and really just being defensive and trying not to get knocked out. In the 11th round, Naoya had enough. He came out. He started throwing even harder shots upstairs, downstairs, and he did it simultaneously, I believe, to get Paul Butler to drop his hands, either drop him low enough so he can catch him on that chin or high enough so he can catch him in that body, which is what put him down in the 11th. Now, I will give Paul Butler this. The man has a chin on him because Inoue did catch him flush on the chin with some of those shots. Anyway, it wasn't enough in the 11th round. The man was tired. The man was wore down from taking all of those shots. He goes down. Referee counts him out. End of the fight. Naoya Inoue said that this is his last fight at bantamweight, and it was very important for him to unify all 4 belts, which he did this morning. So now he said he made it very clear that he's going up to super bantam. So let's talk about what happens from here. Stephen Fulton is the unified champion, if I'm not mistaken. I know for sure he's the king of the super bantamweight division. He's also undefeated, and they are saying that that's who Inoue wants. He wants to move up there and unify those belts. Now, the ESPN commentators were saying that, it would be a huge fight, almost as if Inoue should go right for that fight. But I have an idea. What if we put him in there, Inoue first? Let's say he fights in the spring, 3 to 4 months from now. Maybe what about Luis Neri or Tete? They're both at super bantamweight. I think those would be decent fights for him to start out at before he goes to the champion. Now, I'm going to be very honest. I want to see him in Fulton next year. I don't want it to be a slow build-up. I want to see Inoue dominate. I actually want to see him go up to featherweight because, like I said, I believe that this man is going to be hard to beat. I said years ago, from strawweight all the way up to featherweight, I think it's going to be hard to see anyone beating this man. I think he may not face any real scare of being defeated until he moves up to possibly junior lightweight, if that's even in his cards. The thing is this, the man is 29 years old. I thought he was 28, but he's 29 years old. He's right in the middle of his prime, and he has years to go. We have years to see this master at work, but that's what I would like to see. Give me Neri, give me Tete. Let's see how he looks against slightly bigger guys, and then let's get that Fulton fight sometimes next year. All right, fight fans, if you saw the fight, tell me who you picked and what you thought about it. What did you think about the monster's performance? If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can keep talking boxing. Other than that, that's all I got. Holla at y'all later.